welcome back to Round Our World in 80. Woo! So today we are going to talk to y'all about our Belize trip.
So we just finished our trip to Belize with my family that we've been planning for over a year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we stayed in a little condo on the beach down there.
Didn't your mom find it on VRBO or something like that?
Mm-hmm. VRBO, they had kayaks and bikes and all kinds of different stuff you could use. Oddly enough, we used none of it. But yeah, so we had to fly down there to Belize City, which was interesting because Reagan did not want to fall asleep.
Reagan, are you waiting for our plane? Where did it go? It is our plane. She did fall asleep for about 45 minutes, and if you're going to be traveling non-rev, the one day that we were going was like the most crowded day out of the week to go. For some reason, we went on a Thursday. There's only one direct flight out of DFW to Belize City. It was at like 11:45. But we all three of us ended up getting seats, so that was amazing. And then she did fall asleep in her own seat for about 45 minutes, but when the snack cart came through, it woke her up and she was not happy.
Ray, did you get your seatbelt on? Reagan, you see all the airplanes? Yeah? Bless you. Look, you have so many buttons you can push. You can push them all you want. Yeah?
So then we got down there and we had to go through customs. That wasn't a bad deal. That was really quick.
We actually had a very lovely lady, because we were like row 21 or something like that. So we were literally the middle of the airplane, and they actually deplaned from the front and the back. So we were literally the last people off the airplane, and a lady noticed that Reagan was having a rough time, and she actually grabbed us and took us to a different line so that we didn't have to wait with her, which was so nice.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Anyway, then we got through customs, and then we went to get our ticket to take another aircraft from Belize City to San Pedro on Ambergris Caye.
And San Pedro is its own island, like off the mainland from Belize, so we have to take either a ferry or a plane. You can't just drive.
Yes. And we originally booked with Maya Air, got through security really easily, and then found out that they were going to be delayed. And then they, after bumping us off of 2 subsequent flights before the first one ever even departed, we decided we had had enough. I went and talked to the other airline there, which was Tropic Air. They're like, oh, we could get you on right now.
Yeah.
So we got a refund from the first business and jumped on with the second one, and we were on our way in like 10 minutes.
So that was probably one of the most stressful parts of the trip for me, because you actually had to leave security, like go outside security back to the front desk, get a refund, get our bags transferred from one airline to the other, get our tickets, get back through security, and then make it to the flight. And I think you only had like 20 minutes. I mean, it's a small airport, so keep that in mind, but still. I think you showed up maybe a couple minutes before we walked out the door.
I walked up and we got in line and went out the door.
Yeah. So I was not my best.
But the gate agent was with me, so he's like, they won't leave without you. So
true. But that flight, so we got on a Twin Otter, right? Mm-hmm. Which you were excited about, because apparently it's one of the few airplanes we actually have like the thrust.
I don't know about the few airplanes, but it's a cool airplane.
Yeah. And we got to see some really amazing views of the ocean and the islands. And Reagan kept like waving out the window. She had Mickey Mouse because she was really, really tired. She would watch Mickey Mouse, and then she would look out the window and notice we were moving, and she would wave. And then she would go back to Mickey Mouse, and then she would look out the window and she would wave.
Well, we're on despite some drama.
Now, he has his window open up there. One of the cabbies smokes the whole way, and has his window will be coming to south.
And then once we got on the island, your dad came and picked us up.
After the baggage handlers gave everyone their bag from 2 other flights before they got to mine.
True.
I was frustrated.
But then we got in the golf cart because pretty much everybody there drives golf carts. And we drove out of the city to the VRBO little condo area. And then that night we just kind of said hi to the family. We hung out. And then that was the roughest night with Reagan, I think, because we basically just had to do sleep training that night so that she would get used to the new play yard slash crib. So it took her probably a good hour to fall asleep, which was rough, but she did it, and that pretty much set us up really, really well for her the rest of the week. The following morning, we woke up and just kind of relaxed.
Hi. What you doing? Good job. Good job. Woo! Is the wind blowing you over?
One thing that was really nice was we did have our own kitchen. It was like full-scale kitchen.
Yeah, it was a condo.
And so we were able to just go to like the local markets and grab food and cook in our little condo, which is nice considering that I have my food allergy, and then I know your parents are just trying to eat healthy and stuff like that. So that was really, really handy. All right, so Jared, what did we do this morning for our activities at our VRBO?
Well, I will tell you, Maddie. We woke up early. Because that's what you do on vacation with a kid. And then we ate breakfast.
Yep.
And then we did cornhole and stare into the sun with our glasses
Yeah.
on the beach.
And Reagan kind of sort of ran around.
And then we found a really big bug shell.
Yep. And then we tried to get Reagan to sleep. Didn't work. Went back outside. Now, we're preparing some lunch. Y'all went to, what was it, just a corner fruit stand?
Yeah, like fruits and vegetables.
Maria's world
Organic.
famous organic fruit stand.
And we're grilling some hamburger over there. And I'm giving moral support because otherwise there's going to be too many cooks in the kitchen.
Looking at a little garlic, like, okay.
And then Dad and I went fishing. We went fishing for reef fish, mostly snapper, and we've caught a few Spanish mackerel and some barracuda. which was really cool. We had a good time. That was a lot of fun.
And that's what we ate most of the rest of
And
the
then
week.
and then we had fish for. We didn't eat fish that night, but we did have fish for the next 3 nights or so, which was very good. Fresh snapper straight out of the ocean is really good. But yeah, we had a great time.
While you guys were fishing, myself and Connie and Reagan and all of us went to the pool. And it was really fun because Reagan, they had like a swim up bar, so they had those underwater like seat things. So Reagan got to like stand on the seat and we were practicing her jumping to me in the water. I say jumping. It wasn't really jumping. She didn't quite grasp the concept. But it was still fun. And there's surprisingly a lot of dogs that hang out in that area. And
There's a lot of private residents around where we were.
And
They
she
all
was
have dogs.
fascinated and loved watching them.
And then that night we went to a restaurant that was right by where we were called the Black Orchid.
Yes.
If you are ever in San Pedro,
You need to go.
it is worth it. It is very good food.
Well,
get
one thing
the
that-
shrimp scampi.
Yeah.
Get the shrimp scampi. Don't even look at the menu. Get the shrimp scampi.
One thing that I really liked about it was an outdoor like restaurant. Like you could just walk up and just
It was
sit.
an open air restaurant.
Open air. That's what I meant.
There was a roof.
There was a roof, but it was really well themed. Like just kind of that Hawaiian, almost tiki.
It was themed after the Mayan
Yes.
culture.
But it had that also Pacific feel to me. I don't know, but they actually had incense burning along with the food, and I felt like it complemented each other really well. Like to me, it would be kind of contradictory to burn incense when you have that good of smelling food, but in this case, it really really worked. And they brought out these like it wasn't hot towels; it was cool towels with eucalyptus oil infused water. And it was so refreshing.
Yeah, that was very nice.
That was a really nice touch. But yeah, that was really good food. We actually wanted to eat there our final night, but they are closed on Mondays.
Closed on Mondays.
So we didn't get to go. But yeah, that was really good food.
Reagan's happy. Daddy's helping. What's that hand towel?
It's amazing.
Look, Mommy's got some carrots that she's probably not going to eat all of.
Reagan. Are you sleepy?
So day 2, we were
Yep.
supposed to go diving. We were supposed to dive, that afternoon.
Yes.
So we hung out in the morning.
Star Wars thing? Or what was this? Oh, okay. Oh, what did you do? Oh.
your hair. There you are. Then we got to the dive shop in the afternoon and found out that the wind was too high to dive, and so we had to reschedule.
Yes.
Which
And
was
this
a pain.
is kind of where things started unraveling with our excursion.
Because they were like, "Oh no, well, let's just have you do a refresher today, and then we'll do the dive tomorrow."
Yeah.
We're like, "Oh, only a little bit more." Well, it was double the price. It would have doubled our price for
Which
and
we
no.
could not afford.
And
when we got there and we told them that we couldn't afford to do a refresher dive, we talked to them. We're like, okay, we're wanting to do a 2-tank dive. You say the weather's going to be better tomorrow to go do the deep dive and then the shallower dive in the morning. So book us for that. Well, you got an email at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which we don't have self-service. So we're only able to get emails when we're back at the condo, and we were out with your family doing other things that evening. And so we didn't get that email until 10 o'clock at night. And so they're like, sorry, we double booked and we can't have you come on this dive. Can you do the following morning?
Monday.
And we were already supposed to book, we were already booked with them to go snorkeling that following day with the whole entire family. So it wasn't like we could do that afternoon. We had to do a complete day difference. Mm-hmm. So we were like, okay, well, I guess there's nothing we can do about it now. It's 10 o'clock at night. So yeah. So that was that situation. So now coming back to, we're not diving anymore. We're coming back to the resort. Everybody's surprised to see us. And I think we literally just hung out that afternoon with them, and we actually went snorkeling off the dock because the wind actually died down enough for us all to go snorkeling off the dock.
It was 4 feet deep.
True. But that was actually kind of fun. Your dad came out with us.
Everybody
your mom
but
came
Jacob,
out.
basically.
And we actually ended up starting a trend, and all the other people at the resort started coming out.
All the other condo dwellers.
Yeah. We saw a little crab that was making its own. Y'all caught video of that. Mm-hmm. All the fish were swimming under the dock.
Yeah, the visibility was terrible.
It was really bad, but it was fun. All right, so we were supposed to go diving today, but apparently it's too choppy to go out there. So we're back at the VRBO. We're gonna grab our snorkel gear, and we're gonna go snorkel off the edge of the dock just to have fun and practice. So here's the subsequent footage. Then that evening was one of the nights we did fish, right?
Yeah, yes.
Which was really, really good. And then that evening, I think we played dominoes.
Only we didn't really play dominoes because we
Nobody
couldn't
knew.
we didn't want to wake Reagan up.
Yeah.
And no one really knew what they were doing, so we just basically put dominoes on a table until someone ran out of dominoes.
Pretty
we didn't
much.
keep score or anything, and it was just okay, who went first? Yay, they win.
Yeah. So then the following morning comes, and we're not scuba. You're not scuba diving that morning. So we just hung out again.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much the theme. Mornings were just kind of chill, hang out, sit out on the porch kind of stuff. I think that morning your parents or your family had little cards that were like conversation starters. So we actually sat out on the porch that morning and like read little like questions and answered them, which was fun.
Yeah.
And then that afternoon, we were supposed to go snorkeling at Hol Shan, which is like
With the same company.
Which is a little reef area, just like maybe a 5-minute boat ride away.
It's a marine reserve where part of the barrier reef along the coastline broke off of the reef and got pushed out to sea, and so there's a channel that goes from inside the reef to outside the reef, and so there's tons of aquatic life there.
So we were supposed to do that. So we go out there about 1:15 because we're trying
They're
to
supposed
be
to be
early.
picked up at 1:30.
Yeah. And 1:45 rolls around, and that's when you actually went back to the condo and called. And I don't remember what the conversation was at that point.
Oh, they're leaving right now,
That was the conversation.
basically.
Okay, so he comes back out and he's like, they're coming right now. And we had rode with them the day before, so we knew it was only like a 5-minute boat ride. So 5 minutes go by and there's still no boat. 10 minutes go by, there's still no boat. And by the time, I think 2 o'clock came around, I mean, Reagan was just throwing a fit because she had been, had to sit still with me for 45 minutes pretty much.
Because we were on an elevated dock and she couldn't run around because
Yeah.
she'd fall in the water.
So I ended up just taking her back. And I'm like, if the boat comes, like, I'll come back. But we went back and I turned on, like, the baby first channel or whatever it was and just sat and waited. And then Jared ended up coming back.
And called them again. At 2:15, 45 minutes after we were supposed to be picked up.
And at that point, they told us that apparently they had stripped the prop on their boat. Is that what they told us?
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't going to be able to come pick us up and they were going to have to reschedule. So at this point, we're just all super, super, super frustrated. I know that you had done a lot of research and these people had great reviews on TripAdvisor. So I don't know if they just had a bad week or what was going on, but this was like strike 3 now. And we at this point were basically just like, please just give us our refund. We don't want to deal with this anymore. We are running out of time. Our vacation's almost over. We actually had a concierge guy. His name was Juan. And he was kind of like the concierge person for the entire resort condo. And so we got in touch with him. And he came over and he helped us and he helped us book. We ended up doing a combo where you and I got to dive and your dad and your sister got to snorkel, all on the same excursion, because we didn't have any more time. So we basically spent the afternoon dealing with that. We let Reagan run around a little bit, and then we just kind of all took showers, and then we went out that night.
Yeah, we went and walked the town.
That's right. We did go out and walk the town. That was kind of fun. Which it's not usually my cup of tea, but we ended up making it pretty interesting. We saw like a little Catholic church that was out there. It was very beautiful. We went to a couple gift shops. Baby girl.
Would you like your hair?
Her hair, maybe. She looks like a who.
A who?
Like a
Who
who?
from Who.
Cindy Lou Who.
Where are you, Reagan? And then we got a recommendation from somebody who was actually trying to get us to eat at his restaurant. We actually got a recommendation from him to go to this place called Waguma. Again, another open-air restaurant, as most of them are. And it was mostly Mexican food, I think.
It would be, like I had the coconut shrimp, but it was a burrito.
Yeah, and I had fish tacos.
Yeah.
Which is very Mexican.
So There was a lot. It was the Belizean meats and stuff, but a lot of it was served like a Mexican dish with a burrito or a taco or
Yeah.
something like that.
And Reagan actually did really well at this restaurant. It was really entertaining to watch her. She liked to turn around and like watch all the cars going past. Reagan, what are you doing? But yeah, and then we had seen like a custard place on the way to that restaurant. And so that's where we went for dessert. And that was amazing. That was really, really good.
It was pretty good.
He got this.
I'm gonna get a double custard, 1 peanut butter, 1 Oreo with bullseye, please. Is that good, Reagan? Is that good?
And Reagan actually liked it, which she doesn't really like sweets, so that says something. And then yeah, that night we just went back, and I think that was the night we played Farkle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea what I was doing.
Maddie got last.
I got lost.
I got second to last.